Hello and welcome back to Timberborn. This is episode 11 of our playthrough on the Spillage Map. We're playing on hard mode and we're playing as the Ironteeth faction. So, let's talk about the comments. So, on the previous video before the last one, Laura mentioned why do I have my resource counters set to a value and not a percentage. And I can't give you a good reason. Realistically, we want as much resource as we can, don't we? So I'm going to set the threshold to... I mean, there's no reason not to set it to 100, isn't there? Realistically. But, I mean... do I want them to be pumping to 100? I mean, do we need it? I mean, I have built the resource storage for it. I'm not convinced. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change them to be 90. Change them to a percentage, but I'm going to set them to 90. And then that just gives us a little bit of, I don't know, buffer. So obviously when we're building, because we do have it set to the 24 hours, don't we? So the 24-hour sort of like building period. So let's change these boys to percent. And then that should just be a little bit better. A little bit make more sense, because obviously if we then come in and make some more, make some changes to our storage, we're not going to get dragged into having having to come and change these numbers. They will just go up. So I think that makes more sense. So yeah, so that's fine. So that's the first change we're making. And that was from Laura's comment on the previous video. She hasn't commented on this video, but hopefully that will satisfy the need for that. Right, stuff related to games. So Croc has said that he thinks I should put water wheels in here. I mean, yes, but also no. We could put a water wheel in here just to satisfy the temporary need, but this will be changing. I am inclined to agree with you for now, maybe, because this just isn't pushing through enough. So what we will do is I will try and think of a way of coming over here and popping. I mean, I don't even have to think, do I? Why think when we can do? Pop that in there. And what I might do is I might also levy this up just to see if that improves that a smidge. Probably not needed. What we will do is we will come and pop a... That's horrendous. We will come and pop a large water wheel down here just for science, just to see how much it is, because this is probably slowing production down here quite markedly. So we will come and pop that in. Ooh, large water wheel. The question I want to do is I do not want to affect the flow of this too much, because I am very scared that if we affect the flow of this too much, we will have a problem. So that's going to produce 1100. Does it look ugly? Yes. Is it a bit silly? Yes. Does it work? Yes. So that will just come and power these at a reasonable amount. So that's fine. So we have that in. So that's the water wheel. 2 resources counter, 1 reset node. So that is in relation. So that's from Grouchy Hermit, and that's in relation to these. So what I would do is I would have that set to when I hit a certain point, it would reset the counter. I think that's fine. I think we could do that, but because I've got it set to a maximum reset amount, we don't necessarily need it. I don't know why this is paused. Hopefully that's going to reset itself. Yeah, that should reset itself. So, more comments. So Jason's talking about the power wheel. There is much debate about the power wheel over here. So the only square that matters is the square that connects it in. So this one here. So this is going to be the maximum amount of flow from what you're telling me. So it probably does make sense to come and put this in over here. Why does the resource counter need a timer? So the resource counter doesn't need a timer. But what I've done is I've created a delay on the timer, so Croc. So the idea is here that rather than rather than we have... I'm also going to put this on fast mode because I've just spent 5 minutes talking about how the game's played. So rather than have them go and make a plank, for example, and then, oh my god, we've used that plank, so then we need to go and make another plank. What I do is I give them the 24-hour buffer, so they have time to go and do the other job before they then go back and do the previous job. So it just allows them, rather than it being like very dynamic, it creates a delay so they can finish exactly what they're doing. Yeah, Jason, I mean, my big projects are bad. I assume we're referring to this in here. Yeah, I would like to have got it done. I kind of left my... The issue with this one is it's on kind of on a time scale. So because it's on a... Because I'm on a cycle scale, I just didn't achieve getting it done in time. That's on me. But we are coming down here, and I've also had ideas about down here. I do need to get into some other comments as well, but I am trying to keep us on track. So we will go throughout the episode, and I am going to mention you before the 17-minute mark this time, NYC. I'd like to thank you for the kind comments about, you know, the channel and stuff, and I will go a little bit into that in a minute because I want to talk about some of that stuff, especially this week. This week's been a very weird week. So what I'm going to do is I've thought about this quite a bit down here. And I will come to Phelan's comment in a minute. I'm not trying to ignore people's comments. I am just trying to ensure we can play the game as well. So what I've been thinking is, how useful is this as a storage solution? I think it's fine as a storage solution, but I also want to think about how we're going to get over here to make it connect up to the network. So what I want to do is, and I know, it's another grandiose project of my own making. But what I'm thinking is I can't even get down on... Can I delete that? I can. We have the technology. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here, we're going to put treated planks. Like so. Not treated planks. And we're going to pop that there. And we're going to put a tunnel here. So the idea is, what we're going to do is we are going to pop that there. And we're going to put some stairs there, come over here, and then what I want to do is I want to connect to this. I want to connect to this over here. So actually what probably makes a bit more sense to do rather than what we're doing here is actually do it over here. So the idea is I'll be able to connect to this, the tubeway. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop the platform in here. Pop that in there, and then hopefully we'll be able to come over and start to dig it out. Now I could just tubeway, but I'm not going to make anyone sit there and watch that because that would just make me absolutely mad. So we're going to pop that there, and we're going to high prioritize this stuff here. So the idea being here is, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig out a tubeway station here. I'm guessing like so, and you'll be able to access the underground storage here from down below. So that was my kind of logic there. So what we will start to do is we will start to put the warehousing in. So storage, and we'll pop them all there. That can be a build it when you want project. Oh wow, did we actually? Don't think I realized how deep we did. So what we can also do is maybe we can put some water storage in here because we've got all raw storage there, isn't it? So that's all of our raw storage. We could put water tanks there. We can maybe cover that up later with some dirt. That'd be nice. How are we doing with our resources? I also wanted to talk about... The resources are fine. Sorry, I'm getting all over the place again. So what I was thinking... I've been away for a week, so I have a lot of time to think about beavers. Very strange. So what I'm thinking is... What we want to do is, we want this to be bi-directional. It struck me in like a... Well, I'm not going to say it's like a dream, but it struck me as something that we should do, because what we want to do is we want the water here to also flow through down here. So if I put another valve there, fill valve, during a temperature cycle, we can also use all of the water here to come through to here to fill this up quicker, which means this will then fill up quicker, and so on and so forth. So that's going to be another project we're going to work on. Let's get to Phelan's comments. Because I want to just keep it going. It's good to see the mangroves protected. That's good. It's way better than massive amounts of metal. I need to remember engineering can be done without the mega part. You can, but also mega projects are really fun. They're really good. XOR. So yes, so I think I was doing this wrong, wasn't I? So this should not be XOR. It should be just an OR sensor. So OR is just the independent condition. So this is essentially AND OR in my programming mind. XOR exclusively or not at all. So what I had set up wasn't working. I did actually have a play around with this after recording last episode. So this should be working now. If I levy up the empty space next to the second wheel. So yeah, so that's what we're doing. I remember looking at your product. If you want a little bit more stability, you're interested in using 2 resource sensors, setting a memory block. I will look at that off stream because I do not want to try and work that out while you guys are watching. But it looks very good and I will look into it. Thank you for watching my pub video. The channel is called Pints of the Past. It is on the homepage of my 3 Pints Plays channel. And thank you for the kind comments and about not being an imposter. So while we watch some of this, what are they building? What are they actually building? We did work on increasing the amount of beavers we had, didn't we, last time? Because I will be honest, and this isn't me like, Jesus. I do not have enough. Let's get some of this ripped out. I do not have enough lumberjack flags down here, do I? So yeah, so what was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about... So I've been away this week. I've sort of taken a step back from commenting on your guys' comments because I honestly never expected the channel to get like this. I know I always thought I'll be playing for like 1 or 2 people that like to watch beavers, and I've got all of you wonderful people commenting on my videos, watching it. I can see the hours and the view numbers ticking up, and rather than me going, oh that's brilliant, my mind goes, why are people watching this? This isn't meant to like some sort of like me searching for praise, because it's really not. It's just me going, wow, people want to watch this, and I wasn't really prepared for that. So it's sort of, I have been quite overwhelmed with it recently, and that's just me being brutally honest. Like I can be honest. I feel like I could be honest with you guys, talk to you guys about how that makes me feel. And you know, it is great. It is great. I love the comments. Please don't stop the comments. But sometimes I just have to take a little bit of a step back and go, reality check, think about what that means, how I feel about that, and all of that in between, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But please do keep the comments coming. I don't want you to stop commenting on my videos or any of that. I also hope that comes across as genuine as it genuinely can, because I know it could seem disingenuous to be the person going, oh, you could say, oh, he's doing it to get engagement, he's doing it to, like, I don't know. It feels very weird to be saying it, but I am saying it. So we also, as part of our mega project down here, I know we have this and this and this and all this going on. I need to stop just gesturing with my hands because it's not working. We need to actually be able to get to the upper side of the bad tide drains. Otherwise, we're never going to come and pop them out. So we have access over here to these ones. We also need to get over to here, and we can ostensibly get over to here, but let's just pop some bits in just to make it easier. So we can, when the time comes, pop it, so to speak. We also do need to get into a dirt excavator as well, because I need to work out how we are going to, what I'm going to do as well down here. Because they are just continuing to do this, and that's fine, they're allowed to continue to do this. But what I'd like is, I'd like to see some progress on some other stuff as well. Maybe to there can be low. That I want that to be high so that we can make sure we can put the things in. I mean, it's not too bad, is it? They are made up relatively high. And I would actually like this to be relatively high as well. So maybe this could be high. I know I am high prioritizing a lot of stuff. That is on me again. And I have got distracted. So we was talking about down there, so I need to get over to here. So is the best way to get up to here? We have access through here, or am I better off coming... Bridging the chasm? Could that be cool? Is that what we'd like to see? I like bridges. Oh, that's annoying. Does it have to be uniform? I am not going to lose sleep over that. That's a bit weird. Why is my mouse being a bit weird? If you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you will know the saga of my mouse, which I still haven't replaced. So yes, I intend to fully get back to commenting on everybody's comments and etc. This week. I just had a moment of, I don't know, is it right to call it crisis? It's the best crisis I've had, if it is crisis, because it's a lovely crisis to have. I shouldn't be I don't know. Normal people wouldn't feel this way about receiving positive comments to their work. And we're going to high prioritize that to see if that can push a little bit more through. Not high prioritize, medium high priority. So where do I see us going? So hopefully they can actually, yeah, no, I need to get those out as well, don't I? I will not apologize for high prioritizing that. So we have loads of logs, not loads of logs, loads of trees. How is our beavers? Can we so we put the flame of unity in. I didn't really want to put the tribute of ingenuity in, but I don't really want to put it in where it isn't going to be permanent, because I feel it would be disingenuous to put it here because it's not going to be permanent, and we do have to power it. How much does this use? 600. So we can't even stick it near one of our our vents because it's just not going to be enough power. I'd also have to put this in. I know I'm getting distracted again. No, is that fine? So, another job we're going to high prioritize. I just want to do this before we get into a temperate cycle and it starts. So what we're going to do is we're going to come and high prioritize this. And I'm going to watch them do this because I need this to be done. So fingers crossed, they come and... I also realise the gatherer flags aren't gathering half of this, so we also have to do something about that. But I maybe pull this tree up. So I said I was going to watch them do that, and I haven't. And I'm going to come and put some lumberjack flags in over here. Just so we can make sure we're getting more. You have used all the scrap metal there, so we can pause you. We're not doing too bad for metal. I'm not going to go massively hunting for scrap because we have worked out we have scrap here. Oh, we even have scrap up here. We have scrap up here. We have loads of places we can put scrap. So I think we'll keep scrap not being looked at for now. And I also forget I need to high prioritize the demolition of that tree. They've come in there. That's lovely. And then we're going to chuck in a fill valve here. So my logic for doing this, the way I do this, is I love to use the terrain to my advantage. I love the big mega projects like this, but I also like just simply blasting one block, sticking something in, and it's just working. So what we're going to do is we can set the target height to 0.8, because this will push out to 0.85. So this can be high prioritized to be built, because obviously I want it to be high prioritized to be built. So then, when the water flows into here, and thus down into here, because we have... Oh no, that doesn't work, does it? It doesn't work as is. Do I need to come over and... So if I come and do that, I come and put those there as well. I think we can still access this. Yes, we can. So that needs to be done as well. So that's good that we spotted that. Otherwise, this would just continue to fill this up, but wouldn't push it through there. So let's watch them build this as well, so that I don't forget. It does also mean that this bottom layer is this bottom layer is I did kind of there was a world in which I wanted this to keep feeding, but this also has this on it, so I'm not too super upset. I don't know why that's there. Let's get that destroyed. I still do intend to cap all of these, just not anytime soon. We can't just play and catch up. We are about to break free though. Break through to the other side. And I just realised I never did this, did I? Oh no, I need to... That's annoying. Yeah, it is annoying. You take a week off Timberborn and you forget how to play the game. I think some of you think well, not some of you. Some of the comments I received would say that I don't know how to play the game anyway. So that's just going to flow down there now. That's fine. So now we're going to have two. We have this water source here, adding water in initially. We have this water source here, which is going to fill these, this, and this. Then we have this water source, which is going to fill up to this level and this. And then we have this water source here, which is going to come down here and fill all of this. And then, when we get to this one, it's going to fill all of this. I hope that makes sense. It does in my head. And I did take that out. So, if I stick a gatherer flag here, doesn't get half the berries. No, that's fine. I know we don't need berries. We are still going to have them. Go away. I don't really need you. And I was toying with deleting all of these platforms in here, but I figured they're load bearing enough that I don't really want to, just in case anything starts to go wrong. So, you know, sometimes I just think it's easier just to leave everything in place. And let's just give them a few little encouragement bits. So, what was I doing? Stop getting distracted, Scott. So, put them there. There we go. So now we can come and do this. And then we'll have, hopefully, nice low level access. So I need to think about where the so the entryway is going to be there. So I need to do that. And then I also need to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do something that's really, really weird and probably really ugly, but we're going to try it anyway. So what we're going to do is we're going to do like a concentric system of putting these in. So I'm going to, on the next, so let me demonstrate what I mean. So we're going to have, obviously that, to get to that level. So you'll have your entrance there, and you'll be able to access all of that. So then what we'll do is we'll have let's go back to the landscaping tab for the tunnels, and then we're going to go up one. We'll pop them there, like so. Now this is probably going to be just easier to do from above. I think it's just easier to do from above, don't you? I'd say it's easier to do from above, but then we're going to have to... We have to put bridges back in. But still, we're going to do it from above. I feel like it just makes the most sense. So, path come wide. And then we're gonna, guess, just go down. Oh, that hasn't gone too low because this is still maintaining at the same level. Interesting. Maybe what I want is, because obviously this has now been affected. These are going to survive. Maybe what I want is I want this to, in a... We have an ore, do we? Do we have an ore for the bad tide? So what I want is, I think I want an ore for bad tide and drought. So this is my horrendous weather setup. So that's weather station 4, and that's bad tide defense. So what I think is I want to put an ore. Where can we put an ore? We could put an ore down here somewhere, couldn't we? I'm fully aware that... Oh, that's just... Where do we want to put our ore? A relay. Let's keep playing. Build that for me quick. Hopefully I'm not... Oh, look at that power now. Apologies for that again. Look at that power. Jesus. I mean, can I pause that? Yes, I can. That's weird that you pause it, it just stops flowing. So increasing... Putting this stuff down the side of it has also increased the flow here. But I do try to please everyone, so we can watch silly power numbers go higher. If you want to watch us do a proper power plant of this, in my pressure playthrough, Croc, you can see that we did a whole 2 power plants of that. So that's worth maybe going to watch. Oh, I love it when they are coming and doing all of this, aren't they? That's because I didn't high prioritize this. So you're an ore. So what I want you to do is automate. So you need to be ore. So if you're on your bad tide defense, or weather station, what are you? If weather station 4 is on, so if you're in a drought, you're in a bad tide. So that one means that you're going to automate. So on if any input is on, and they're not on, so that means that will then, so that should be fine, right? Somebody please tell me if I'm not. But you notice we have this flowing through now, so this will fill up hopefully a lot quicker. Even if it is minuscule amount, every little helps. Every little helps. And we've hit half hour already. I can't believe this. You have a week off of playing and you realise how much you're actually missing. What do you do? Sends a signal base. Oh, that turns the lights on, doesn't it? That's our light switch. We're going to put loads more of those in. I really like that. So they're coming down here. This is all going to be tube as well, by the way. I'm not being like super weird about this. I think the reason why I'm doing this level first down here, just makes more sense to me. Ah, detonate. So. That should be enough, that should. I do need to think where we're going to put a dirt excavator, though. Oh, we didn't put access to power over there. I also don't want it somewhere where it's going to be stupidly far away. Ooh, we haven't built that yet. I think we just put it up here and just call it a day. I think we do. Dirt excavator. I'm going to want dirt soon, so. Ah, yes. I forgot that it does this. Maybe not up there then? I guess that could work. And that kind of does keep it near the rest of the industrial. Oh. No. No, I can fix this. Power. So we're gonna have to have an engine over here for this. So that's fine, that goes there. And hopefully I'm not overloading them with too many projects this episode. I say as nobody is going to believe me. And I will just high prioritize those as well. Did I high prioritize these dynamite down here? No, I did not. And we do need to work towards getting better farms in. So we put this farm here, didn't we? I kind of want to hold off better farms until bad tide, and maybe even the dirt, because we could come in and fill a lot of this in with dirt, and that'd make a real. Oh, we got another bad tide. I love a bad tide. Here's a secret: he did not. But we can also see and test if our fill valve works there. So it turns out we may actually need more pumps. Ah, so there we go. So, power, we want our engine. Come and take out all of these horrendous trees for me. They've caused me problems for too long. I haven't even looked at like Deadlands yet. I'm excited to carry that on. I hope nobody was too brutal in the I haven't read the comments of that video yet when this is going out. I probably will have by the time. Yes, this was the problem, wasn't it? So, how many layers do we have? So we have. So this is where it gets really weird, because what I'm going to do is we're going to have a tubeway station on each layer, and I haven't even thought about how they connect to each other. Oh, let's just not think about any of this. Let's not think about any of this. Because we'll put a bridge in there as well. That's fine. Can you come and attack these trees? And then we will get that built at some point. I'm not super concerned. We put the bits in we need to put in. We do want the dirt, but not. It is not a expedient requirement. Remember, I need to keep chasing the things with... We also need to come over here as well, didn't we? I forgot about this. And maybe high prioritize those ones. I'm sure I put those in. I did. Right. I hope these episodes are still engaging for you as well. I know we kind of hit the point where we're moving past the middle of the game. So the early game, so to speak, and we're moving into the I have to do bits that are just slow. And I didn't have time to time lapse this tonight because I wouldn't say I was putting off recording this video because that's not true, but time has caught up with me. We are very close to finishing this. I don't think it's going to be long at all. Oh, I also forgot we need to get over to this one, don't we? Oh, that's going to be annoying. Maybe we can bridge that. Can we bridge that? Oh, worry about that later. No, worry about it now. And I'm not going to put resources too close to stuff over here. I know Jerome would like me to do that. But we are going to not worry about that too much. So we can actually start to put dynamites in. So we are in a bad tide. Everything should have flicked on. So you should not be flowing. You should not be flowing. I don't think I'm seeing... Well, we're not seeing water flow through there because of the target height. If I was to put that down... I'm hoping somebody will come in and tell me if that's right. Because we are in a bad tide. Or do I need to change this to a knot? Does it need to be a knot? So if a bad tide isn't working, then that can be on. Does that make sense? I do struggle a little bit with the with the automation, as you can most probably tell. I can't remember if I mentioned that I did software development at college many years ago, before I changed and became a scientist. Let's just see how they're getting on down here. So is this going in? They do just need to do little bits, don't they? So we can continue coming out this way with this. This might need to be wider, because that's 3. That's 2. That's also 3. That might need to be wider. That's 2. You know what? There's no reason to not make it just that bit wider. Doesn't hurt, does it? Just do it. Just get it done. So that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. This is being rapidly chucked stuff out. And I also did notice something that I said I was going to do and I didn't do, because I did I? So that's not good English. This wasn't actually finished because I think I only prioritised like half of it. So just build. Oh, they can't build that bit now because of that. We could delete that. That's fine. Come and delete that. So yeah, if you did watch the pub channel, Phelan, sorry, I know this is turning into me just talking to my commenters. Please do watch one of the later ones. If you watch the Oxford one, it's not very good. As with learning any new skill, you know, you have a go, you see what you get out, it's not very good, and then as you work on it, you improve your quality of your craft, don't you? That's what's exciting. So we should be able to put that back in now. The sad thing about being awake as well, not awake, away for a week, is I haven't been able to keep up with everyone else's videos. So I've got a lot of JC to get through. I don't think that's flowing through. I'm not sure at this point. Oh, they also put this in, didn't they? So now we can. Oh, I'm loving that. Sorry, it's turned into... Oh, look, a shiny. What was that? Pop that there. So now we can just... Because we said we was only going to do the... We said we was only going to do the smaller barracks, didn't we? Because you can actually get the roof on rather than me having to do that sleeping up there. So housing. And then roof-wise, we can just put this on, can't we? There we go. And we're going to put loads of these in all over the place. Because that's the vibe we're going for. And I'm hopeful we're going to stick loads of foresters down and plant a load of trees everywhere that we're not going to be harvesting. I'm really bad at building stuff that doesn't actually require any actual building. And it's just to require a bit of babysitting. But they're not doing too badly. Like, considering they have to run back here and get the resource, I don't think this is too bad. It could be a lot worse. And they started to build the stairs. No, they haven't, which is fine. We were putting the dynamite in, weren't we? 1, 2, 3. I'm hopeful that once the dynamite's in, we will just be able to... It will just go straight down. We won't need to add, like, all this silly stuff. I mean, I'm probably going to leave this here because... the terror in my eyes, but... I don't think we're going to need to worry too much. And we can now detonate all of this, which will then make that completely inaccessible. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a... not tubeway station, we're going to put a bridge. A long boy, pop it there. And then we're going to go down up 2 more. So the idea behind this is going to be that. I mean, it's very... It's a bit indulgent. But the idea is... we do just have to put a 2 in there? Ah, you don't need to be free, so you just need to be... So you get pulled out. Yeah, so that makes sense. So you get pulled out. Prioritize building you. And then you could just be 2s. So landscaping 2s. So... and hopefully this is going to make sense. That's going to be a 2, that's going to be a 2, that's going to be a 2. Everyone down here is going to be a 2. Oh, I also missed offer. And what I'm hopefully going to show you... this layer talk is brilliant. What I'm hopefully going to be able to demonstrate to you is... so we're going to detonate him. We're going to pop in tubeway like so, and then we're going to put in a tubeway station. So if we detonate these 2 here, so that's detonated all of that. That's fine. So you can see we're going to put a tubeway station here. This is going to go down another 2 here. So high prioritize this for me. I'm hoping this works. Otherwise I will feel like a fool. Come on. Can you pop that in? So these, does this need to come down another 1? Did I not do this right? Yeah, so that needs to be another 1 lower. And then what we're going to do is we're going to build... Sorry, this is kind of turned into a... How do I play the game while you guys watch? Which is what I try not this to be. But that'll be on that floor. So you can see what I'm going to do. We're having a staggered approach. There'll be a tubeway between all the levels. Could I have just built a stairwell? Yes. Have I over-engineered the crap out of this? Also yes. I also could have done... Oh, that's fine. It's fine. Yes, we'll let them do that. So we've increased... Our beaver's population hasn't really increased, has it? Let's put in 1 more pod. Because I would like to see that happen. So detonate that. Pop that there. So they should be able to come out now. In theory. So, in a series of comedy of errors, I muted my mic because I was coughing and I didn't restart it, so you are now listening to Voiceover Scott, and I will voice over the rest of the episode. And in a comedy of episodes, I voiced over this once and I didn't hit record, so this is my second attempt at recording this. In here you can see me putting some dirt in, so I'm putting the dirt over the top. I don't intend for it to look like this forever. Please comment, let me know what you think. I intend to fully sort of like blend this with the landscape as best you can, sort of like, you know, stick a blocks around the edges, make it a little bit higher in the middle, maybe create some like crevices in it, something like that. And this is obviously a majorly over-engineered solution to a problem, where it wasn't even a problem, but I like to do these silly things sometimes, and we're probably going to do another one of these elsewhere in the map. Or we might just extend this out further, I'm not sure. But we'll have fun with that when we do. I'm talking about here, so we have 9 warehouses we put in. What I wanted to do here was put in, so we have 9, we have 8 food, raw food stuff, so I've decided to put berries down there as well. I do like to just have enough berries. Yes, it never hurts to have too many berries. I think I come over here now and I extend the paths out. So, yeah. Just extending paths out so that the beavers can get over. That's always good. I think I was talking about here as well where we're going to be putting our blockage. So if you see the first tubeway station which is on screen, that's where we're going to put our like beaver grate. So we're going to have an impermeable floor and we're going to shove the beavers through the impermeable floor there so they can still access all the tubeways and get up to wherever we're going to build our tubeways out the other side. So that's what's going to be happening there. So that's where we're going to have our rapid expansion of this colony. So once the bad tide drains are in, and I can stick tubeways all underneath everywhere to access places easily, we're going to build our disseminated beaver colony. If that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. I come back over here. I delete a pathway. So what I've decided I'm doing here is I want surface access to this side as well, so that we can access the bad water and the extract nice and easily from our tubeway system, which we are now slowly starting to put underground. Slowly being the operative word. But this is fun. So I'm going to put a triple dynamite in here so we have access to this. There's me doing that. I can't believe... I'm so glad it's just the last 8 minutes of the episode that I didn't not record. Because if it was longer, I think I'd be very upset. I do also need to go back and check the rest of the episode to make sure there was no other bits that were missed. This could turn into a very long process. I was just checking the dirt there to make sure the dirt excavator was on track. And what was I doing? I was coming up here and putting in the scavenger flags. Because we were running low on metal, and we have quite a lot of metal parts and blocks, but it's always best just to have lots of them in production. So I probably should high prioritize that. I didn't. Boom, the dynamite. And then that's going to allow us to put in the vertical tubeways. Oh, that might not support that. Oh, that will support that because of the bit at the end. Okay, so that's fine. I was getting concerned then. But is that a silly place? Probably. I think it looks fine there. I think I was talking about the extract and bad water proximity to stuff. Maybe that should have been flipped, that tube station. Oh well. And here I'm talking about we're going to put contamination barriers down around here so that I can continue to plant trees, and hopefully that they will, we can plant some trees up here, make it look slightly more aesthetic. It doesn't have to look amazing. As long as it looks okay, I'm quite happy with that. So we've come back down here. I think I'm just checking on the pathing system, because the closer you are, the easier it is to reach. I genuinely think at next episode we might actually see the drain in function. I'm not going to do it in the middle of a bad tide because I don't want to absolutely murder everybody. But what we might do is we might use one of the seeps as like a test. So we can use one of the seeps to see if the water is going to go down into it. If that makes sense. Could probably do it with good water. I think there's a good water seep up there that we could use. So that'll be a nice trial run for this. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. This fill valve, I like my idea for this, but the execution isn't working. I'm not sure if it's turned off. I think it's on. It's just completely on. So I think I need to swap this out for a. So have the OR gate there, but also I need to have a NOT gate so that to change it to or not. So it's negative reinforcement, if that makes sense. It doesn't make much sense to me. If I'm wrong, please point me out. What I want that to do is I want that to turn off during a drought and a bad tide. So I've got the 2 chronometers. That's then set to an OR. So I think it's turning it on during both of those, which is what I don't want it to do. So I think we need to have it as a NOT relay in there as well. And then this is me talking about how appreciative I am of you guys' comments. I did touch on it earlier in the episode about how, slightly overwhelming all the positive stuff. I do value greatly. Please don't stop commenting. It's just sometimes I just take a step back and go, oh my god, and I just need to, clean my brain out for a bit. But hopefully business will be resumed. So, I think we are getting on for the end of the episode. So I'd just like to thank you for watching. And join me for more beavers next time. See you then.